There's a wide publicity uh, for Jessica and not for Soni Sori or the Dalit women who are getting raped in Haryana. Though there are a couple of news coming now and then, but there was a massive campaign for Binayak or even for Jessica murder. What is the reason in your experience? How do you see this?
See, I think that's the nature of the caste system. First, one of the challenges we face, the nature of the caste system is that we are not regarded as human beings. So when we are not regarded as human beings, when already we are objectified, caste in addition to patriarchy, okay, both are combined. But Jessica definitely also because of patriarchy. Here in the issue here, we are not only talking of patriarchy, but we are talking about caste. So the multi-dimensional exclusions that take place, one of the core things here is when you are not regarded as a human being, it is a norm to be done to you in those ways. So for example, either as a person who has been a crime committed against men, boys, women, girls, first of all, that particular person against whom the crime is being committed, when they are not regarded as human beings, the act itself doesn't have it doesn't ring any bells in the consciousness of the society or even the human rights activists. So that is the main thing that it has taken. See, the concept of human rights has started coming round about 40s, 30s. So, and the concept was primarily state violating the subjects. Now, when the citizens are not even regarded as human beings, you don't have the class of that particular the privilege of being a citizen is not according to Dalit. There is no question of them either as a victim or as a challenger of a human rights defender. You are not regarded as, whatever you do is not visibilized. You are not it doesn't really matter. So both the crimes on the one hand and the human rights defenders on the other hand among the Dalits are therefore natural. That's not recognized.
The caste question is never addressed by
because of that. Because of that.
So the other thing is, every time in Delhi, for example, the report says that in Delhi there is a number of rapes happens. It's increasing day by day. So that how do you see when Delhi, cities like Delhi and metropolitans like Hyderabad or Chennai reports the rape, and do you think the village and what is happening in the reality in villages?
Of course, apart from my journey in this whole area of Dalit human rights, one thing that has brought and hit my face is being participant in the study Dalitwomen Speak Up, which has been carried out by Aloysius William, Jayashri and Joel. They identified 500 women who have been subjected to violations. And they took primarily, I think, rural areas and also urban. And it was a study done in 4 states, Bihar, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu and Uttar Pradesh. The nature of violations against women are so appalling, so shocking. And so shocking because we have also migrated to the cities, so I am an urban, and also because I am a man, the patriarchal thing has not sufficiently recognized. It's so appalling because it is so routinely done. And that's the real heinousness and ruthlessness of the caste practices there. Like for example, you hear of a case where a person is a normal human being, a guy is plowing in the field. Then he sees the 2 women going. Not a quote unquote grabs one of them and sexually assaults the person. For the woman, it's such a horror. But for this person, he, after the act, he doesn't run away or he doesn't do anything. He just comes back and does loving as usual. It acts like this, which means somewhere in the mind, there is a very deep belief that one, she is an object made for me, so I can do anything that I want. She is not another human being who has a set of rights, but one who's just to be at the whims and fancies, and then with no accountability. So therefore, you have this very much happening in the rural areas, but it's like a normative behavior. It's certainly abnormal. So therefore, what is the thing? So that's why when a woman goes to the police station, it's not only that they don't register the case. On the other hand, the police become angry. They say, "Hey, Lanchidana," that means, "Hey, a normal word. Your normal behavior is that, why are you coming here to file a case?" They get so very violent. And then they think it's an arrogance. They never think absolutely no sympathy. And it's not just the police, it's the executives, other executives, as well as the media, journalists. So therefore the reporting is very low, the registration of cases is very low, relief rehabilitation is low, and then they are made to suffer. And wherever they manage to get a strong community around them, the whole community outbursts. Only then it becomes a case like how it is becoming Dabba.
Okay. So other thing is this, in this whole issue of like Dabra, no? Dabra. In Dabra, there was this rape which they went forward after 10 days, no? 10, 11 days. But now only the mark could be there, because the judiciary and the police believes only the medical examinations report. So how far the movement can go forward along with others?
See, that's the whole thing, the tragedy, additional tragedy that has come. The journey to justice, access to justice, right from the time of, see, like for example, a crime is committed. Until and unless it is registered, and registered under relevant sections, there is absolutely no chance for the case to neither be visibilized nor any chance of access to justice. So at that portal itself, entry into that portal itself is curbed. So one of these ways is, first of all, there's such a delay, and then they say because of the delay, it can't be, the whole thing is circumstantial evidence, so it doesn't, evidence doesn't hold. And because of this, you have only less than 1%, 1.3% of the registered cases end up in conviction. And 1.3, if you look at the cases which are registered. Now, look at, for every case that is registered, minimum there are at least about 50, maybe in some places more, cases which are unreported, unregistered and unreported. So if you look at it, then it is 0.003% or 0.001%, which have access to justice, which result in some kind of conviction. So rest of the things is acquitted. So that is why you have, despite the constitution and all the acts that we have, the impunity is so large because it just doesn't. It's not a crime, and even if it's a crime, you can get away with it.
So in the last video, you were talking about this Ka Panchayat and the North India South India divide. In that, actually, South India, what about North India, the Mayavadi and Kanshiram politics that was disappearing from the talk?
Definitely, they made a tremendous impact. But then you're talking about huge system, and the system is not only the set of executives, judiciary, the police and all, but you're also talking about the mindset that is in the society. So you have the society, you have the political structures, and then you have the economic, the market, both the rural and the urban markets that are there. The combination is such a kind of a very exploding combination that one person coming to rule in one stream of political power is not going to impact this widely. It will impact when more Ravis come in making this visible. It will impact when more people like me talk about it. It will impact when more executives, whether they are Dalits, whether they are non-Dalits, say that whatever is the threat to my life, I will stand by this. It will impact when politicians say, whatever, I will not compromise, I will not say. So, I think that is yet to be mobilized. But definitely they have made a tremendous impact in the area. If you look at the UP villages, it has become, that is why now the current SP government has very clearly told the entire police, given unwritten instructions, that don't anymore entertain any of these cases. These are cases only of political nature. You don't have to do, we will deal with it. So you have, after Mayawati, after SP has come into power, such spate of violent atrocities are not only being committed, even earlier they have been committed, but now they have multiplied, and there is no recourse to judicial action or executive action.
And Mayawati's party is helpless.
I mean, I don't think it is helpless. It's a game of the rules, and I'm sure it has not come to light, so we don't have any evidence, but I'm sure there are efforts, both the party cadre as well as community leaders, irrespective of the party, are grouping themselves. So it's invisible, not being visibilized by the media, but definitely it must be there. It can't just die out and be helpless.
So in the Haryana issue, what was this Mayawati and Dalit political parties stand on that?
Yeah, I do not know at which level they have visited BSP.
Okay.
But see, BSP is a very spontaneous association also. So you have in every village, there is one person who either, we do not know whether they have the recognition of the official BSP party or not. Most people who are agitating for the Dalit rights in the north have a BSP color. So it's not as though only when the party supremo comes, but there is one group of leaders at the district level, I'm sure, either as advocates or as social activists or as some employees, they have been supporting, and we have reports that they are behind the assertion that we see. The nature of assertion also we must not downplay. We must not portray this Ravi as only a victimization. The challenges and hurdles our people have overcome, even to go and ask. They did not allow the body to be buried without arrest and all that. So I think several things have taken place, and behind them, I think all enlightened people who have struggled for the cause.
Sir, you have been working at least for 2 decades in this campaign, Dalit human rights. Three decades. So that for this whole, what is the solution you would propose? No, it's a very difficult question, but
I think we should not give up hope. One is we cannot afford to give hope, but it's again a victim conscience to say that there is no way out. Number one. Number two, I feel that in whatever we do, 2 things we have to simultaneously do. We have to challenge the casteist trial wherever it happens, whether it happens as a violence, physical violence, whether it happens as an academic discrimination in institutions, whether we challenge, whether we see entrenched exclusion in the way budgets are allocated, whether we see the negligence or non-inclusion of Dalits in the whole discourse on the biodiversity that we are now looking at it, whether in the private sector, whether in the way the cutting-edge economics of our society are being expanded, where are the Dalits to see that this particular thing is being accrued to them or not. So wherever we are, we need to be conscious to see how the casteist forces are either knowingly or as a conspiracy or as the default, we call it the default discrimination, is taking place, and we need to flag it, visibilize it. Second, I think because of this such a huge amount of historical discrimination that has taken place, there is part of it, me as a human being have also internalized. I have accepted. So every step I'll have to see where I have accepted the casteist behavior, and not only accepted that I may be also be displaying forms of casteist behavior. So while I look at it externally, internally also we need to take time to introspect how caste and patriarchy, because I think these are the two things that have fed on each other, have continuously abused our own belief in the human beings and therefore the human rights. I think that these two combined with a conviction that, definitely at one point this is going to open out into a more level playing field. I feel it's a very simplistic solution, but I believe in these three aspects.
Last one is, in your 3 decades of service, how do you see when you started your service and now in society?
There has not been a very major strategy in the things like that. I didn't plan that I will do this, I will do that after 5 years. No. I think my journey is also looking at these 3 aspects. I felt that first, this is one of the history's worst form of violations we must do. I myself have been subjected to extreme violence. My mother has been bombed to death, my father has been burnt, and we were all traveling, and a land mafia has affected me when I was about 19 years old. So my whole youth and therefore my professional work started with having a very personal experience of violence, very, very acute violence, and then added to that the realization of the casteist nature of this whole thing made me to take small steps and just be available wherever my skills are to contribute to the humaneness of the society.
So that now when you see your work, your impact?
I'm just one of the many people who are involved in this. And I think there are many, as you say, many unreported great heroes, unsung heroes, who have challenged much more. And some of them are with us, some of them are not with us. But I feel this is not a very extraordinary thing. But I feel I'm just one of the many who believe that our society and our people deserve much better than what we are having.